Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to use ChatGPT to land yourself an entry-level IT job step by step. For those of you who might not know what ChatGPT is, it is an AI chatbot developed by OpenAI back in November of 2022. And in recent months, it's been blowing up on like YouTube and other platforms. You can sort of just think of it as like your Google Home and your iPhone Apple Siri. They basically made a baby and fused together. All right, but serious, ChatGPT has done some really wicked things like passing the bar, to the AP Biology, to even the US medical exam. And the cool thing about it is this is just the tip of the iceberg of what its potential can be. I want to show you guys now how artificial intelligence can make your life that much easier, even easier than watching my YouTube videos. I'll be demonstrating, sharing my screen, how I would approach landing an entry-level IT job on ChatGPT. So if you like what you're hearing, give this video a good old smash. And now, let's dive into it. Open up your browser and start typing in chat.openai.com. Upon arrival to the ChatGPT website, you have the option of logging in if you have an account already or signing up on the right-hand side. This is what the homepage of ChatGPT looks like. On the left-hand side, these are kind of like the historic searches that you've sent in the past. Right here is the question box, call it that, and you can ask it any sort of questions. It even tells you some of the examples, capabilities, and limitations that ChatGPT has. I'm going to be dividing this video into 5 different prompts, and the first prompt I'm going to be asking is literally, how do I get an IT entry-level job with no experience? So it's pretty wild how ChatGPT operates. The moment I typed in a simple question, it yields me like a in-depth step-by-step of like what exactly some of the things that I can do. So I can look into education certification, build practical skills, networking. And simply the reason why I started off with this question is that I kind of want to show you guys a holistic, generic answer of like some of the things you can do to land yourself an entry IT position. Despite I asked it the one question and gave me like 10 different responses, I can ask a follow-up question about like, say the first one about education certification. If you want a better response, like a next level, you want to provide as much insight as possible to your question and be as specific as possible. It's like your situation is pretty different, so you might want to give that insight. So if you're a 4th year student versus your 2nd or 3rd year out of school, may look very different. So those are some of the things that you might want to consider. So after you taking a look of the responses that ChatGPT has provided, the next step that I would probably search is probably actually making a IT resume itself. Can you create me an entry level IT resume template? And very well, by asking it to generate a entry-level IT template, it will get you get started. The one thing I love about ChatGPT, honestly, is that a lot of times I feel we have the capabilities of doing any sort of task, but it's almost like that initial like spark that takes people quite some time to get started. Like, I know that how to break a resume, but getting started, that's what really takes a lot of time. Literally, I could copy paste this template just to get me started. I'm not gonna obviously copy paste and like send it off, but copy the template. And then with that, go into it and make it your version of it. You can even ask it, if you don't have any of the experience, just say it. Say, I don't have any of these IT experience. What should I write down in my resume? Oftentimes, you're just trying to show people that you are eager and hungry to learn in the IT space, as opposed to you already have the skills. Like, you just want to be trainable. Like, if this was Pokemon, you want to be like Charmander, okay? Like, you can very well be Charizard, but you're Charmander right now, and it's such a bad example. Okay, you know what I mean. Say you have an existing resume, and maybe you have just retail work or non-related IT experience at all. What you can do is basically copy paste your current existing resume, paste it over to ChatGPT, and at the top portion of it, you just say something along the lines of like, here's my existing resume. I have no IT experience. Can you convert my resume to an IT setting? My own resume has bullet points, but I want it to be more professional or get across to the point. So I'll use this example over here of when I was working as a QA analyst, and I know I just only took screenshot, let's be real here, but I took my Some of the bullet points that I had: led investigation to root cause production defects to eliminate revenue leakage. And let's see what it was able to convert it with. Based on my previous bullet points, here is the output: led proactive investigation to root cause production defects to identify. Okay, you get the point. So the third prompt I want to ask is, what websites can I use to apply for entry-level IT jobs? And here are some of the website you can use. So very well, it generates Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor. Tell me the pros and cons to using Indeed when applying for jobs. It says the pros is that it has a wide range of job listing, user-friendly interface, company reviews, and some of the downside is just high competition, limited company interaction. What keywords should I use when searching for entry-level IT jobs? Entry-level IT, junior IT, IT support, help desk. So what I'm gonna do now is go to Job Indeed right now, and we're gonna use, let's use the example of entry-level IT. So number one over here, we're gonna type in, I'm based out in Toronto, so we're gonna type in entry-level IT on the search for Job Indeed, and let's see what populates. Looks like we have IT desktop technician. That's the example I actually used earlier. Entry-level technical support specialist. If you find a job description that you're interested in, so for example, this IT junior support, you can take it over to ChatGPT, copy paste the job description, paste it over to ChatGPT, and extract the relevant sentences, keywords. Let's move on to the fourth prompt, and let's just assume that you've been successful with your resume and applying for work, and you actually secured an interview, a phone interview, and you're not sure how to prepare for this. Well, you can use ChatGPT to basically give you questions to help you during the interview process. So I will ask it, for this example, can you generate me practice interview questions and answers? Here are some practice interview questions and sample answers for an entry-level IT position. The classic, tell me about yourself. Second question is, how do you stay updated with the latest trends and advancements in IT industry? There's the answer. Describe a time when you encountered a technical problem and how you resolved it. Another cool trick is you can take the job description, like what I said before, take the job description and copy paste it and say, based on this job description, what are some of the questions that a recruiter may ask? What I used to do when I had a phone interview is I would literally take my phone and I would just record myself. And I will say that, like, after the second time, the third time, the fifth time, 10th time, you do naturally get better. Use ChatGPT to generate some questions or some specific questions, but when you're actually practicing, practice out loud, talking to the camera. I'm not even that comfortable talking to this camera myself. Like, I know when I edit this video, it's gonna be pretty smooth, but like, I'm telling you, it's very, very choppy and weird talking to the camera. But if you're comfortable talking to a camera, I guarantee you talking to a real person over the phone, FaceTime, or actually in person is gonna be like 10x easier. All right, let's assume you did everything right. You converted your resume to an IT setting. You did the interview, you killed it, and now they're asking you for like what your salary range is, and you're like, I have no idea. Let's use the scenario that you landed in entry-level IT help desk position and you're living in Winnipeg, Manitoba. What's your salary range that you can budget? Let's see. I landed in entry-level IT help desk position. I live in Winnipeg. What should I ask for my salary? I want an actual range itself, but it's telling me to just do my own research. So it says research data, assess your qualification, consider the job responsibility. Give me a range. Let's just say I want a range. I want to say, okay, there you go. See, the first question wasn't the greatest, so I said, just give me an exact range. And it gave me the range of $35,000 to $45,000 per year for an entry-level IT help desk position. One thing to also keep note about ChatGPT, at least for their ChatGPT 3.5 version, is that it has data only up to 2021. So it might be a little bit off because it's now 2023, so data might be a little bit off in that sense. But the main thing is that it can give you a little bit of insight of like what the range is based on 2021 trend, and then you can adjust to inflation or stuff like that. There's a chance you may be like myself when I first started and I didn't know how to negotiate at all. So let's ask ChatGPT how to negotiate. How do I negotiate my starting salary? Actually, this is what I like to know when I was younger. Doing your research, I agree. You want to like basically tell the recruiter some of the market trends, how much other people are being paid. Know your worth, very, very critical. I would say that you like to assume because you have no experience that you're going to accept whatever, but just know your worth. So stick on to that, because I know even for myself when I first started that I used to think a little bit low of myself when I applied for a position, but I think I should have really followed my worth instead of just assuming that I'm at the lowest tier. Draft me an email on how to negotiate an extra $3,000. And there you go. As I speak, it's generating a template of an email of how to negotiate an extra $3,000 with the subject at the top. The most important thing when using this chatbot is to be as specific as possible when using these questions. Like if you have a complex question, break it down into different chunks, because it'll be able to give you a better response to whatever question you're asking. This method will probably land you an entry-level IT position, but remember, it's super critical that when you're going through the interview process, you don't want to sound robotic, because it's easy to look through all this and follow it and you're going to sound like a robot and no one's going to hire you. So anyhow, with that said guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me showing you how to use ChatGPT to land yourself an entry-level IT position. I know this video was a little bit different. It almost seemed like a tutorial, but I really do hope it helped you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button. And I guess I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.